was able to head to theaters and see Scream. And now, this is one of my favorite franchises, so I was very excited to see Ghostface coming back after 10 years. I never thought this would happen, and I was very happy. Not to mention I was very happy when I saw the new cast members, like some of my favorite people out there working in the industry who absolutely kill it, no pun intended, in Scream, and that is Jenna Ortega and Jack Quaid. So I was very thrilled to see them. I was also thrilled to see Melissa, who I have some thoughts on. So let's dive into it. Let's talk Scream. And now the first part of this will be spoiler free, but I am going to throw some spoiler stuff at the end, but I will give you warnings. So if you have not yet seen the movie and you're still trying to decide if you want to, you are safe for now. I will give you the warning when I dive into the spoilers. And if this is your first time here, I would love it if you take 1 second and hit that subscribe button. Go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more movie reviews, trailer reactions, and celebrity interviews. Okay? Let's talk Scream. Hey, Tessa from MamasGeeky here. Thank you so much for stopping by my YouTube channel. So like I said, guys, I'm a big Ghostface fan. I've been a fan of this franchise for a long time, and even when the movies aren't that great, I have fun with them. I love slasher-type movies. I think they're a lot of fun. I really have fun trying to figure out exactly who the killer is, who Ghostface is, and come on, let's all talk about that massive twist in the first Scream movie. Listen, when we found out it was 2 killers, it was like mind-blowing. At least for me it was. And I feel like they've continued on with like some pretty good reveals, although sometimes they're very obvious of who the killer is. The reveals have been decent. Now, when we're talking about this Scream, I will say I figured it out so early on that by the time we got to the end, it was a disappointment. I was hoping there would be some twists and turns along the way that would change my mind, that make me think, oh no, it's probably this or this or this, you know? But pretty much right from the start, I'd say within 10-15 minutes, I had it pegged pretty good. And that did kind of put a damper on the entire film for me as I was waiting for certain things to happen, right? Maybe someone I thought was the killer would die or not be able to be in the same place, you know, something like that, that I was just like, ah. But then I was like, come on, like, what the heck? So that was a little like, it stunk for me, like, let's be honest, okay? I was a little disappointed. Still, the reveal was great. The reason, their motive was fantastic. I thought it was like so much fun. Like, fantastic is the word I use, because I was just like, what? This is crazy. And then the way they're describing it, I was just dying. I mean, listen, this movie tackles toxic fandom so well because it's so true. I mean, literally, like, this movie is for the fans. This movie is for the fans. Wes would be so proud. Wes Craven would be so proud of this movie. It really captured the first Scream. It felt like the first Scream. Heck, there's so much about it from the first Scream, right? As we know, these characters are related. Some of the houses are the same, and you're just like, this is insane. It feels like I'm way back so long ago watching the same movie in certain ways, but then not in other ways, but the same in certain ways. I mean, and let's talk about, they bring the legacy characters back. And they full on describe, like, oh, when you're doing a requel, you have to bring back some legacy characters. Like, it's meta in that way, which is so much fun, and I really enjoy it. And of course, they have the Stab movies to play off of, so they can just full on dive into it talking about Stab when we all know they're talking about Scream. But it's still a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed those moments of it. I do think they did really well with bringing back the original cast members. I mean, of course, we have Neve Campbell, we have Courtney Cox, and we have David Arquette, who play Sidney Prescott, Gale Weathers, and of course Dewey. And it was so great to see them back, and they had their moments to shine. Each and every one of them had their moments, had like the looks, like the way they styled them. I was like, these are these same characters, they're just back years later, which was a blast, and it was so great to see them come back. But they didn't spend too much time on them, which I really enjoyed, because of course we all know there's gonna be a 6th Scream movie, and it's obviously gonna focus on the younger generation. So yes, they give us our time with these older characters, these legacy characters, and they all have their moments, but they're in it here and there, and they're in it sporadically, and then they don't really focus on them, which again is really, really important when you're trying to get people into this franchise, especially new people, right? It's been 10 years since the last Scream movie, and we don't even want to talk about how long it's been since the first one, because it makes me feel really, really old. But this is a good way to pull in new viewers, make them come back and watch the others if they hadn't seen them, or perhaps a lot of people I think are actually watching them before they go and see this movie, which is great. It's an awesome franchise. It's one of my favorites. I really enjoy it just because it's so much fun and it's so bloody and it's so gross. And there are some gnarly kills in this one, guys. It's insane. But what I love about this so much is that they gave us stuff for the people who've been fans the whole time, but they did enough to really lure in more people. And of course, and of course, you have this core group that anyone who survived is probably going to be in the next one, guys, so you better make us like them. Which leads me to another negative, like poor Melissa Barrera. I don't know what it was about her character, but I just never bought it. Never once. Within, 20 minutes, my husband and I are looking at each other like, I thought she could act, because she isn't acting like she can act in this. I don't know if she was just trying. She was so dull. She felt so like monotone half the time, like certain things that should phase her really weren't, and she just seemed I don't know. I was just like, man, they really should have focused on Jenna Ortega here. She was such a standout that they focused more on her than Melissa, than this Sam character. If this had been kind of more Tara's story, I would have been more in it, I think. She just was like, come on, like I wanted something from her. I was like pulling teeth to get any emotion out of her, and it was killing me. And I get what they were doing, and I get why for some of it, which we'll talk about in the spoiler section. But it was really starting to get to me, especially towards the end. I was just like, listen, like I can't take this girl anymore. And that sucks because I am a fan of hers outside of this movie. And I really wanted something more from her, so I was really, really bummed about that. But it didn't ruin the whole movie. Overall, it's fun, it's brutal, it's meta, it makes fun of toxic fandom, which we all know there's toxic fandom out there. I think they even say, why are they call them toxic? Because they're toxic. It's true, we know it. And so I'm giving Scream a 3.5 out of 5. The things I didn't like about it didn't drag it down too much. It was a good timing. I mean, it's 2 hours. It moves along well. There's tons of jump scares. There's some brutal, gnarly deaths, which of course are a lot of fun. The motive was fantastic. Unfortunately, did see the reveal of who Ghostface was coming from a mile away very, very early on. Never changed my mind. It was still right at the end. And Melissa really did bring it down for me. I just felt like every scene she was in, she kind of made it mediocre. But still really enjoyed the movie. I still recommend going to see it, especially if you're a fan of the Scream franchise. So, it's spoiler time. Let's talk spoilers, guys. You have a warning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's spoiler time, you guys. Listen, I knew it was Amber from pretty much the get-go. When we were seeing the video of her in the room and the text is coming back, I go, oh, this is like gonna be like whoever she's working with or herself just sending a video. Like, it's definitely Amber. And then like whatever the conversation was a little bit later, I was like, oh no, it's definitely Amber. And I'm talking like seconds later when they first all got together and they all started talking, and I was like, okay, it's definitely Amber. And then when we brought in Jack Quaid and he's like, I'll go with you. As soon as he said, well, I've never seen the stab movies before, I went, it's him. He's going to be some fanboy, and he's playing it off like he's never seen him before, and boom. And then that's when I figured it out. And then especially when Dewey, which was not even that much later, was like, oh, always look at the love interest. Are you obsessed with the stab movies? I was like, see? And then it never as soon as he got sliced at the hospital, I went, oh, so he's the one and Amber's the other. And I just knew it. I knew it all the way through. And so when the like big reveal came as to who it was, I was like, I mean, I figured this out forever ago. Now, I will say their motive, although obvious, right? Of course, they're trying to recreate the franchise, go back to the roots. I knew what the motive was going to be, but just the way they delivered it was hilarious. And Jack is so good in this movie because he reminds me of Billy Loomis, right? It reminds me of Skeet Ulrich's performance way back when. He's kind of crazy, kind of kooky. And I do think that's what Melissa was maybe trying to capture, or she was trying to have this whole, my dad's a serial killer, I messed up. I don't know what she was doing. She really fell flat for me. I think she was trying to channel that whole, like, I'm dealing with my dad being a serial killer, and you're like, okay, but like have some emotion, right? You see these people die and you're just like, I knew that person. I knew Wes. But then nothing. Like, I just was like, I wanted to just like shake her and be like, you have so much better in you, like perform a little bit more. Like, just bring it up just a little bit. You don't have to go over the top, but you got to give me something here. It was really starting to kill me. And can we talk about Dewey's death? That was so freaking cool. I was obviously devastated. I love Dewey, but the ripping him up from the back and the front was insane. I was like, oh my gosh. And the way they constantly, they keep coming back if you don't shoot him in the head. I mean, stuff like that. It was just so good and so meta. You know, they're talking about, you just have to go back to the fans, right? This is for the fans. The last one shouldn't have even counted. I mean, it just felt literally like what people on social media and message boards post everywhere. So it kind of fit in and was kind of perfect. One of my favorite jump scares of the whole thing was, of course, when Amber comes running back in all burned and stuff. And of course, her getting set on fire was really freaking cool too. She was phenomenal. Let's talk about her for a second. She was really, really good in this. Even though I knew it was her, she was really, really good. So, listen, that's my thoughts on this, right? I mean, I wish I hadn't figured it out that early on, but it is what it is. And I wish Melissa had given me a little bit more, but it is what it is. It's still a Scream movie. It's still bloody. There's still insane kills. There's jump scares. There's so much meta packed into this. And of course, I loved seeing Courtney Cox and Neve Campbell and David Arquette back. That was a lot of fun. And of course, the big surprise for me, seeing Ski Ulrich back there, kind of looming, get it? That was so stupid. Behind Melissa, egging her on to do things. And of course, that one scene I loved her in, when she's just stabbing and stabbing. It was like, this is what I wanted the whole time. And maybe the point was she was trapped, she was hiding stuff, and she's letting herself out. I don't know, maybe she's going to be a crazy serial killer in the next one. Who knows? I still wish Jenna Ortega had taken more of a front seat, although she's really absolutely fantastic in this movie, and I'm hoping we see her in the next one. You guys let me know your thoughts on Scream down below in the comments. Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on more videos like this. You can follow me over on Instagram and Twitter. I'm at MamasGeeky over there. MamasGeeky. Thanks, guys. Thank you so much to all of my monetary supporters, my members here on YouTube, as well as my patrons. If you haven't joined yet, please consider doing so. We have some really awesome perks, including a monthly Zoom meeting where we get to talk face to face. Thank you again to everyone who supports me.